Well, we'll start today's third lecture. Inshallah, benefit from his knowledge and wisdom. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll have another speaker, Sayyid Faraz Zaidi. He will speak tomorrow and Sunday. Inshallah, I will request Brother Ali Jawad to continue his lecture. Salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله آل الله واللعنة على أعدائهم وعداوتهم إلى يوم لقاء الله السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, dear brothers and sisters, the 3rd of September and the day of the 25th of Muharram and the night of the 26th of Muharram, the day of the martyrdom of Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. And yesterday, as you know, we discussed another part from Risalatul Huquq, meaning the right of the counselor in the Treatise of Rights. So once again, for those viewing online, just want to refresh that what the Risalatul Huquq is. So Risalatul Huquq is the Treatise of Rights, meaning it's a book where Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, it's a compilation of his sayings regarding the rights of basically everything. The right of our friends, the right of our companion, the right of our neighbor, the right of our parents, the right of our children, and so on and so forth. And we've been discussing for the past 2 days, at least, one part. There's a lot of parts we can look, and as you know, the ilm of Ali Muhammad, the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, is beyond our understanding. Even if we were to, just stay here and keep on constantly just talking about the fazilat of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, day and night would go by, and we could not even reach 1% of the actual status of Amir al-Mu'mineen and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. And moving forward, yesterday, just to recap, yesterday I was also mentioning how it's important to bring our children, to bring our youth, and to bring those young children, even though they might be young, 1 month, 2 old, 6 months, 2 years old, 3 years old, whatever age they are, it's important that we bring them to the majlis, because at that age they might not be understanding what is being said in the mosque or what's being said in the majlis. But that time that they spend around you, even though they might be playing with their toys, they might be just running here and there, but constantly they're always hearing something. They'll hear the name of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, they'll hear the name of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they'll hear the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And as they grow up, they'll understand that my role model is not, Kobe Bryant or this singer or that, actor or this and that. Because when you go today and ask anybody around, who are going to middle school, high school, around that age, you go and ask them about any sports player, about any basketball player, any cricket player, any soccer player. They'll tell you, oh yeah, he's in that team and he scored this many points, and this guy is from this country, and you couldn't get all the biodata from them, like their whole biography. The children around today will know. But when you ask them about, even if you ask any of us about the hadith of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salatu wassalam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, how many of us we even have a hadith memorized from Imam Hassan? How about Imam Bakr? How about Imam Rida? How about Imam Hassan al-Askari? We have some hadith we can say memorized from Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and possibly Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. But it's not, we shouldn't limit ourselves to just Imam Ali, Imam Hussein. We recite the status of Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Masa'ib of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And unfortunately, throughout the year, we kind of neglect the other Ayyam alayhi salatu wassalam. Even though their purpose and their hadith are very close to they're nearly the same. But when you hear it from another Imam, they're speaking in their time period. So there's a little bit time variation in the time that they're the Imam. And even though Awwaluna Muhammad, Akhiruna Muhammad, Awsatana Muhammad, meaning whatever the first Muhammad says is what the last Muhammad is saying. We have to, gain the ma'rifat. We can just memorize that Imam Hassan was born on the 15th of Ramadan, but to actually understand the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, to understand the life of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, and to understand the life of the rest of our Ayyam alayhi salatu wassalam, it's difficult. Because we hear the focusing on Imam Ali, Imam Hussein. I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about Imam Ali, don't talk about Imam Hussein. Talk as much as you want and spread the message of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Spread the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But always try to look into the literature our other Ayyam alayhi salatu wasalam have put. Like as you know, Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam, when you look in Sajjadiya, you see so many du'as that are given to us for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the whole week. We have du'as for every single day of Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam he has given us. Even you look at the other imam, they give us du'as as well. But there's some imam who are like highlighted for something. Like Imam Ali alayhi salam, we highlight him for his greatness, his bravery. And we highlight Imam Hussein's tragedy of Karbala. And over here, we highlight Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam, the Risalatul Huquq is one example. Sajjadiya is another example of some of the things that we have been given by Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. Salawat. And continuing from yesterday, one more aspect I will continue to talk about from Risalatul Huquq. But before that, I want to talk about how Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, he should have an internal impact on us. There's a physical impact they might have, how they look, how they dress, and so on and so forth. But the character and the way they behave towards others, and the true reality of how they're living their life in the society, it's important for us to understand that. So we see that Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam, he was shackled through the bazaar of Kufa and Sham. But when we think of that, we might shackle, as a symbol, we put a chain on our hand as a remembrance of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. Now, there are some people who actually know why they're putting a chain on their hand in the remembrance of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. But then there are others who look around, it's the fashion of today. So just look around, he's wearing it, and they're wearing it, he's wearing it, so why shouldn't I wearing it? That's blind following. You don't know why they're wearing it. There's a philosophy and logic behind each and everything that a Shia does. A Shia is not someone who is blind follower. Whatever a Shia does, he has some logic, some understanding behind it. So when we should wear that in the intention of remembrance of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. We wear it because Imam Sajjad alayhi salam was shackled. And as a remembrance with Masa'ib, if we are wearing that and acting like Yazid, that's us showing us that, we only understand the physical appearance of the Imam. Imam was shackled, so I'm going to shackle myself. But we don't shackle our nafs. Our nafs, it deviates us from the true path of understanding the true religion. Our nafs tells us, go left, and our deen is telling us, go right. So whoever has control over their nafs, meaning their desires, if I want to go left and the Islam is telling me to go right, I'm just giving an example. So don't think that there's somewhere in the book it's saying go left or go right. So this is just an example I'm giving. That my nafs says that I should walk around, wearing, clothing that is not proper. Islam gives us a proper dress code, how to dress up. And we see people, come and praying in shorts. And there's nothing wrong in wearing shorts, but when you come to the masjid, come to the mosque, when you're seeing people who are coming to the masjid like they're coming to the gym. This is the house of worship. This is where we remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And when we come to such place, remember in the majlis that Sayyidah Fatima salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. The Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam are coming in the masjid. So we should, reflect upon in what condition are we coming to the majlis. Are we dirty? Do we need to go take a shower? Do we need to get clean and come to the masjid? Because you are sitting on the same plate that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam are sitting. When there's a majlis going on, they're sitting in front of who is speaking, and they're in the majlis. And sometimes it's important that you realize that how you are coming to the majlis has an impact on where you are coming. You know how there's a proper dress up to everything. When you go to the gym, you dress up for the gym. But when you come to the masjid, you come dress up for the masjid, and so on and so forth. When you're taking a car, you don't take it to the hospital and say that, oh, go and fix my car. And you don't take yourself to the mechanic and say, oh, I'm having a fever, can you give me some medicine and fix me? So it's illogical. And Islam gives us the lesson to take the logic. Logic is number one, especially for the Shia Muslims. Logic and using our intellect, it's the top priority. If you hear a hadith, or if you hear a saying, if you're hearing something that is going against what the Quran is telling you, is going against the intellect, then know that that's not a hadith. It's just made up, just to make the public feel happy or something like that. So it's important that we get the true religion from the true sources of Islam. We don't get the religion from self-elected the khulafa or self-elected leaders that they say that the Prophet didn't elect anybody. And you can see there's clear evidence in the Quran and Hadith that how if Prophet Musa did not leave his nation without Harun, how could Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, how could Prophet have left his ummah not for 30 days, not for 40 days, but for the rest of the 1400 years till this day? How could he have not left someone? So it is illogical to think that Prophet Muhammad did not leave anybody. And going from that, when Imam Ali is the Imam, after that we have Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, and till this day we are lucky, we are fortunate to be part of a creed, to be part of the Shia Islam, where we have Imam Zamana Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Fajr Sharif, where we have a leader today, wa alaikum salam, where we have a leader who is here to guide us. Like the example of Imam Zamana leading the ummah is how the sun benefits the ummah, the people, the world, the earth behind the clouds. Even though you may not physically see the sun, but when it's daytime, no matter how cloudy it is, you can always feel the light, you can always see the light of the sun. And it's clearly you can tell when it's night because the sun isn't present anymore. So that same way, Imam Zamana Ajallahu Ta'ala Fajr Sharif, he is present over us. It's just we have been surrounded by this so many materialistic and worldly desires and materialistic issues that we neglect the reality that Imam is present. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us. And it's important that we adjust our actions based on what Imam Zamana and based on what the Holy Prophet have instructed us to do. And now coming towards a few more minutes left, just coming towards the conclusion, how we were continuing the topic of Risalatul Huquq, and hadith I want to share for today is that the right of the counselor. When you go to somebody to seek advice, to get advice, the one who is seeking advice, Imam is also giving advice for the understanding and what is the right of the one who is seeking advice, and the right of the one whom the advice is being sought from. Yesterday I talked about the one who is looking for advice, seeking advice, and today I'm going to be talking about the one who is giving the advice. So the right of the one who is giving advice to you is that you act gently towards him and give ear to him. So when somebody comes to ask advice from you, it is a responsibility of the one who is giving advice to listen to him, be gentle towards him. Don't be, aggressive towards him. Why are you coming now? Or this is not the time to come, and showing him, I have so much work to do. If somebody comes to you to ask for help, they come to you because they trust you. They know that you can help them. That's why they come towards you. And then going forward, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, he says that if that person who is seeking advice from you, he gives you the solution already in his, talk. You say, yes, this is correct. What the thing you want to do, the plan that you have set for yourself, this is correct. If it's correct, then tell him that your planning is good and you should continue with your plan. But if it's not good, what you do is that you show compassion, mercy towards him, and don't accuse him, and don't show, hostility towards him, don't show aggression towards him, that what your plan is wrong, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Don't do that. We say, so, gently, if somebody is doing something wrong, you don't just, stand up in the middle and say, yo, you are doing this wrong. If I am saying something wrong here, nobody would, if you stand up in the middle, that's, causing disruption, and that's going to be the, embarrassing to me and the person who is yelling it out. But if I'm saying something wrong, and after I finish, you see that I'm not doing anything, and you come to me and take me to the side and say, no, brother, what you said today or what you did today, oh, this is not right, and you gently guide me towards the right path. But if you come and start yelling at me, oh, this is wrong, then that's gonna, that's not the proper way to do it. That's not in the Sirat of Ahlul Bayt ﷺ how to do it. Yes. So if you consider him to have made a mistake, and you don't take him for that, unless he is deserving of accusation, he knows that he is doing wrong and he still plans to do it, and then that's when you can say, oh, this you are doing, if you know that you are doing wrong and you continue to do it, then that's when you stop him. That's when you say, oh, this is not right, so don't do it. So then attach more importance to his affair. If he continues that I'm going to continue doing this wrong, and say that my responsibility was to tell you that what you are doing is wrong, and this was my responsibility. If you want to act upon what is right, you are free to do so. I have advised you that this is the right path, and the path you are taking is not the right path. So you advise them in a generous, in a nice way, in a kind way, in a compassionate way, in a merciful way. So this way, when you are trying to advise somebody, they don't get upset, and you're not making yourself look like that you think you're the better person. And just in this time for Salat, and just one hadith from Imam Bakr, where he is mentioning Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, where he is mentioning the Masa'ib. He is talking about Imam Hussein alayhi salam. لقد قتل الحسين بالسيف والسنان والحجر والخشب والعصا ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين صلوات